We wanted to go into even more detail tonight about the rapidly changing situation on the ground in Pakistan and Afghanistan. A story top Obama administration officials have said repeatedly has enormous national security implications for the United States. To do that, we are joined tonight from Washington by Daniel Markey. He is a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations and a specialist on South Asia. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
What good does it really do to have these public meetings with the civilian leaders of Pakistan and Afghanistan when it's widely assumed that both of those leaders are weak and ineffective and might not even survive in office?
Well, a lot of the reason for the meeting is symbolic, simply to demonstrate some strong connection between the United States and these two countries, and the only or easiest way to do that is to bring them all together in a summit. But the other point that the Obama administration is trying to make is that they'd like to try to introduce new habits of cooperation, not just between the top leaders who may at this stage be weak, but also between their cabinet ministers. So bringing together agriculture ministers or ministers from commerce or treasury and so on, to get them to talk in somewhat more detail about the kinds of ways that they could cooperate across their shared border.
You've written that the U.S. policy in the region, instead of being an AF-PAC strategy, should in fact switch to be a PAC-AF strategy. What exactly does it mean, and why make that switch?
Well, I think that it's important to recognize that Pakistan is now the central concern, strategic concern, in a lot of the ways that Americans associate with Afghanistan. If you talk about al-Qaeda, if you talk about Taliban leadership, if you talk about global terrorism more generally, extremism and so on, all of these problems are really situated as much, and if not more, in Pakistan than they are in Afghanistan. And Pakistan poses a number of other threats as well, or at least challenges. It has an enormous population. It's far more globally linked to the rest of the world than Afghanistan is. And of course, Pakistan has a nuclear weapon or a nuclear arsenal that makes it a concern to the United States. So for all of these reasons, I would say the United States really needs to situate itself with a firm focus on Pakistan. And the Obama administration has made it very clear that they see the regional threat as one that they take seriously. But their initial effort to resituate their strategy away from Iraq shifted them first to Afghanistan. And now I think gradually everybody is coming to recognize that Pakistan really is the central issue.
Well, within Pakistan, there seems to be widespread anti-American sentiment. And the Pakistani government is seen as doing the bidding of Washington in its campaign against the Taliban militants. So is it possible to win militarily without winning hearts and minds?
It's impossible to win Pakistan if you don't win politically. Pakistan is not a military problem first and foremost. The Pakistani military is, in terms of firepower and manpower, significantly more capable than any of the specific terrorists or jihadis that they face inside their borders. It's a problem of motivating the Pakistanis to stand up to this and to root it out from their society and to see it as much of a threat as we do. And that's the fundamental challenge. And that's why I think the Obama administration and others have been talking a lot about non-military tools, such as providing development assistance and trying to win over Pakistani hearts and minds, as they say.
But do you think that's possible?
I think that it's possible over a long period of time. I think that anybody who expects a turnaround by injecting several $billion in the next year or two is seeking a magic bullet that simply doesn't exist. But over a period of time, I think we can gradually demonstrate our commitment to the Pakistani people.
Daniel Markey, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you.